The proposed 28th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, proposed by my guest, Mykhailo Stevenson Kline, in his new book, The Virtual State and the End of Empires, reads as follows. No person shall be denied digital life, property, or identity, or be required to give access to personal digital data and correspondence without due process of law as deemed necessary for the free exercise of speech, religion, assembly, and commerce, consistent with the provisions of the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, and extending these rights and protections into virtual space. Well, Mykhailo, if that gets passed and accepted and becomes a law of the land, it goes without saying that your book will have a lasting legacy. How do you view this? Do you view your book as a world-changing event if it's taken and read and understood?
Well, only history. History will be the judge. But I believe this book is a truly important book helping us to understand the digital universe per se. Mm-hmm. So the 28th Amendment, I think, is something very important for us to clarify the basic constitutional protections. So the legacy of this book, I hope, is the 28th Amendment. But as I stated before, I think it's larger than that. I hope that this book enables us or changes the way we view the world. And whether we're talking about addressing issues such as privacy or the future of humanity, the design of a virtual society, we're really talking about the same issues. And it requires us to view things from a slightly different perspective. If we look at recently successful movement, the Green Movement, for instance, people talk about green engineering. It changed the way we look at engineering, how we think about the environment. I think that this book has the potential to change the way we think about design. So I believe that this is a very, very important, we're at an important place in history. So I often say, if I could be born at any point in history, where would I choose? The Italian Renaissance, ancient Greece. There's so many interesting places you could be born in history. Yet I think this is one of the most important points in history, one of the most exciting times to be alive. We're making a number of important decisions that are going to deeply impact the future of humanity. What will the future look like? Will it be a world of democracy and freedom, of chaos and disorder, of authoritarian control and social engineering? What is the world going to look like? Well, we're going to sleep in the bed that we make. Are future generations going to be able to live the American dream? So I feel like that's really what the book is about. How do we extend our way of life into the virtual world? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
As I read your book, two things popped out at me that were astonishing. First of all, you actually extend the notion of territorial sovereignty of states to the internet and to virtual space. You gave the example, for instance, of China effectively shutting down Google and setting up their own search engine because they claimed sovereignty over the virtual space. Could you elucidate how revolutionary that idea is?
Well, I think it goes back kind of to the origin or the early beginnings of the internet. It was always kind of had a little utopian flavor to it, a world without boundaries. But in the real world, we live in a world with boundaries. And although there may be some exceptions or the blurring of lines, we still live in nation states, and particularly non-democratic nation states hold their citizens responsible for what they do in the real world or in the virtual world.
In order then to address the contemporary issues today, the virtual state and the fall of empire, and the proposition of the 28th Amendment to the Constitution, you're really extending the basic rights that the founders and framers of our Constitution expected were inalienable. Is that correct?
Well, it's important to take those constitutional rights and enact them in software design. Only in that way can we make truly inalienable human rights.
And will your book revise the way we self-educate and the way we educate people to view various ideas? We're going to have to hold that question for another day. I look forward to the full publication and release of the book. Mykhailo Klein, thank you very, very, very much for giving us this preview, and we expect to have you back. I am Mark McIntyre. This is Minds That Matter, and we will be seeing you again next week.